Captain Jake Miller stared at the view screen as three strange ships appeared out of nowhere. Each vessel looked completely different from the others. The first ship seemed to be made of liquid silver, constantly shifting and flowing like a giant jellyfish in space. The second was sharp and angular, covered in crystals that caught starlight and threw it back in rainbow colors. The third moved like an insect, with thin metal legs extending from its black body. "This is the human scout ship Pioneer to unknown vessels." Jake spoke into his microphone. "We come in peace. Please respond." Static filled the bridge for several seconds. Then a voice replied, though it sounded like three different creatures speaking at once. "We are the Zephyrian Collective. We have been watching your species for many cycles. You may approach Station Nexus 7 for meeting." Jake looked at his crew. Chief Officer Ben Torres nodded from his position at the weapons console. Dr. Lisa Wright, their science officer, was already pulling up data on her tablet. Amy Johnson, their communications expert, gave a thumbs up. "Set course for the coordinates." "They're sending," Jake ordered. 4 hours later, the Pioneer docked with a massive space station that looked like it was built by children playing with blocks. Nothing matched. Different materials, colors, and designs were stuck together in a way that somehow worked. "Captain," Ben said as they prepared to leave the ship, "I've got a bad feeling about this. 3 different alien species working together. That's unusual." "Everything about today is unusual," Lisa replied. "But think about it. If they wanted to harm us, they could have done it already. Those ships have technology we can't even begin to understand." Jake nodded. "Listen up, everyone. We're representing all of humanity here. Amy, you're on communications. Ben, watch our backs. Lisa, document everything you can. Let's make history." They stepped through the airlock into a corridor that felt warm and humid. The walls seemed to breathe, expanding and contracting slightly. Strange lights flickered overhead, changing colors like a slow rainbow. "The atmospheric composition is compatible with your biology," a voice announced from everywhere and nowhere. "Please proceed to meeting room 7. They followed glowing arrows on the floor until they reached a large circular room. 3 very different creatures waited inside. The first alien looked like a 7-foot-tall jellyfish standing upright. Its translucent body showed organs that pulsed with different colors. Tentacles hung from what might have been its head, swaying gently. It had no eyes that they could see, but somehow Jake knew it was looking at them. The second alien was made entirely of what looked like living crystal. It stood on 4 legs that ended in sharp points. Its body consisted of hundreds of crystal shards that moved independently, creating musical sounds when they touched each other. Light seemed to come from inside it, making it glow softly. The third alien was the smallest, about the size of a house cat, but stood on 2 legs. It looked like a praying mantis crossed with a butterfly. 6 thin arms ended in delicate hands. Its large compound eyes reflected everything in the room like thousands of tiny mirrors. Wings that looked too beautiful to be real folded against its back. "I am Vaxi 1, the jellyfish alien said without moving its mouth. "I speak for the Vaxi Collective. I am Kodrak Elder," the crystal being chimed, its voice sounding like wind chimes. "I represent the Kodrak Unity." "I am Threx Scout," the insect alien chittered, its voice high and quick. "I serve the Threx Hive." Jake stepped forward. "I am Captain Jake Miller of the human race. With me are Ben Torres, Lisa Wright, and Amy Johnson. We're honored to meet you." "Honored," Vaxi 1 repeated, its tentacles moving in what might have been confusion. This word, it suggests reverence, despite danger? "Well, yes," Jake replied. "Meeting new intelligent life is something we've dreamed about for generations." "Generations," Kodrak Elder chimed. "Multiple cycles of offspring. You measure time in dangerous moments?" The humans looked at each other. "I'm not sure I understand," Lisa said gently. "You use words that suggest conflict, risk, peril," Threx Scout explained, its antennae twitching. "Yet you say them with pleasure. This confuses us." Amy stepped forward, her diplomatic training kicking in. "Perhaps we should start with basic information about our species. Would you like to know about human culture, our history, our biology? Yes, all three aliens said at once. But first we must warn you, our collective exists because we avoid dangerous subjects. We live in harmony by preventing conflict. Ben raised an eyebrow. What kind of conflict? Predators, Vaxi once said, its entire body turning a darker color. Hunters, creatures that wait to harm others. Our worlds evolved differently than yours appears to have. Lisa's scientific mind immediately perked up. You mean your planets don't have predatory species? No meat eaters? No food chains? Food chains. Kodrak Elder's crystals dimmed slightly. You mean systems where creatures consume other creatures, deliberately for survival? Well, yes, Lisa explained. On Earth, all animals need to eat. Some eat plants, some eat other animals. It's how nature works. The three aliens exchanged something that might have been glances, though it was hard to tell with their alien features. Perhaps, Threk Scout said carefully, we should discuss something else first, your ships. How do you travel between stars? And so the first day of talks began, with humans and aliens sharing stories of their worlds. The aliens seemed fascinated by human technology, art, and music. But Jake noticed something. Every time the conversation veered toward nature, animals, or survival, the aliens would quickly change the subject. It was as if they were afraid of something, though he couldn't imagine what. As the meeting ended, and the humans returned to their ship, Lisa turned to Jake. Did you notice how nervous they got when I mentioned food chains? It's like they've never heard of predators before. Maybe they haven't, Ben suggested. Maybe their worlds really are that peaceful. Or maybe, Amy added thoughtfully, they've had experiences with predators we can't even imagine. Did you see how they reacted to the word conflict? Jake nodded as they entered the Pioneer. Whatever it is, we need to understand it. Tomorrow we learn more about who we're dealing with, and maybe they'll learn more about us too. None of them could have guessed that a simple conversation about crocodiles would change everything. 3 weeks after first contact, Jake Miller stood in the observation deck of Nexus 7, watching Earth's sun appear as a small dot among the stars. Their daily meetings with the Zephyrian Collective had become routine, but each session revealed more mysterious behavior from their new alien friends. Ready for day 22? Ben Torres asked, walking up beside him. Ben was carrying a tablet loaded with pictures from Earth, part of their ongoing cultural exchange. As ready as I'll ever be, Jake replied. Amy thinks we're making good progress, but I'm still puzzled by their reactions to simple things. Lisa Wright joined them, adjusting her lab coat. I've been analyzing their medical data. It's fascinating. The Vaxi have no fight-or-flight response. The Kodrak don't even have what we'd call fear hormones. And the Threks have never experienced what they call defensive aggression. That's impossible, Ben said. Every living thing needs some way to protect itself. Not according to them. Lisa shrugged. Their worlds apparently never developed the need for such responses. Amy Johnson hurried up to the group. We're late. The aliens are already in the meeting room. They entered to find all three species waiting. The room had been modified with comfortable seating for each species. Vaxi 1 floated in a tank of liquid that looked like liquid silver. Kodrak Elder rested on a platform of smooth stone. Threk Scout perched on a branch-like structure. Greetings, human friends, Vaxi 1 said, its tentacles waving in what they had learned was their version of a smile. Today, we wish to hear more about your achievements. You mentioned climbing mountains and diving oceans? Jake nodded. Yes, Mount Everest is the tallest mountain on our planet. Over 4,000 humans have climbed it. It takes months of training and preparation. Many people die trying. The room went completely silent. Kodrak Elder's crystals stopped their musical humming. Die? Threk Scout asked finally. Humans deliberately do things that cause death? Well, we try not to die, Ben explained. We train extensively, we use safety equipment, we work in teams, but yes, there's always risk. Risk, Vaxi 1 repeated slowly. The possibility of harm. For what purpose? To prove we can do it, Amy said. To explore, to push our limits. It's called adventure. The three aliens exchanged their form of communication, a quick flash of colors, sounds, and movements that the humans couldn't follow. Perhaps you could explain your sports? Kodrak Elder suggested, perhaps hoping for a safer topic. Jake smiled. Of course, we have hundreds of sports: football, baseball, boxing, racing, swimming competitions. You hit each other voluntarily? Threk Scout's wings buzzed nervously. For entertainment? Boxing is a sport, Ben explained. Both participants agree to it. There are rules, safety measures. It's about skill and strategy, not actually hurting anyone. But injuries happen. Vaxi One's color shifted to a darker hue. Sometimes, yes, Lisa admitted. But that's true of any physical activity. People get hurt playing basketball, running, even walking sometimes. The aliens seemed to collectively shrink back. Their meeting today was supposed to go the other way. The aliens sharing their cultures with humans. Perhaps we could learn about your worlds now? Amy suggested diplomatically. Yes, Kodrak Elder agreed, its crystals brightening slightly. We will share. Vaxi One started first. The Vaxi evolved in oceans of perfect temperature. Our food, a type of abundant algae, required no hunting. It simply existed everywhere. We developed intelligence to better coordinate resource sharing. Our crystal world has eternal harmony, Kodrak Elder continued. We feed on specific minerals that regenerate daily from our planet's core. No creature ever takes another's resource. The Threks come from a world of infinite gardens, Threk Scout added. Every plant provides food for specific species. No competition exists. We developed consciousness to better tend these gardens. Jake felt like he was hearing about fairy tale worlds. But what about natural disasters? Earthquakes, storms, floods? Our worlds have predictable patterns, Vaxi One explained. No sudden changes, no dangerous events. What about disease? Lisa asked. Death from old age? Accidents? We pass peacefully when our time comes, Kodrak Elder said slowly. No pain, no suffering. Death comes like sleep after a long, satisfying day. The humans sat in stunned silence. These aliens came from worlds that were essentially paradises. I'm beginning to understand, Ben said slowly. You've never experienced threats, real danger, the constant adaptation required for survival. Survival against what? Threk Scout asked genuinely. Against nature itself sometimes, Jake replied. Against other creatures who might see you as food. Against environmental changes, against the very process of staying alive. The aliens' reactions were immediate and alarming. Vaxi One's body turned almost black. Kodrak Elder's glow nearly died out completely. Threk Scout's wings wrapped protectively around its body. Food? Vaxi One whispered. Other creatures see you as food? Well, not humans specifically, Lisa said quickly. But on Earth, yes. Almost everything eats something else to survive. Lions eat zebras. Sharks eat smaller fish. Even plants compete for sunlight and nutrients. The silence that followed was deafening. We think, Kodrak Elder said very slowly, we need to understand your food chain concept better, but perhaps gradually. Of course, Amy said, shooting her teammates a look that clearly said, stop talking about predators. For the rest of the meeting, they discussed safer topics, like art and music, but Jake noticed the aliens kept glancing at each other nervously. When they finished for the day, the aliens left quickly, without their usual extended farewell. As the humans returned to the Pioneer, Ben shook his head. They're afraid. Not just cautious or concerned. Actually afraid. Of Earth, Lisa added, or specifically of the idea that survival isn't guaranteed, that creatures actively hunt other creatures. We need to be more careful, Amy warned. If they're this upset by abstract concepts, imagine how they'll react to specifics about our predators. Jake nodded grimly. Tomorrow, let's focus on the positive aspects of Earth. Culture, art, philosophy. Maybe skip the nature documentaries. For a while. None of them suspected that Lisa's upcoming mention of her family's alligator farm would change everything. Dr. Lisa Wright pressed the button on her tablet and a large hologram appeared in the center of the meeting room. The image showed a green forest with a gentle stream running through it. "Today, I'd like to share some pictures from Earth's nature," she announced to her alien audience. "I promise these are the peaceful parts." Jake noticed the aliens visibly relax. Perhaps showing them beautiful landscapes would help ease their fears. The first few images were exactly that. Mountain streams, flower meadows, sunset beaches. The aliens seemed genuinely interested, asking questions about colors and landscapes they'd never seen. "Are all your water formations this turbulent?" Vaxi-1 asked, watching a video of ocean waves. "This is actually considered calm," Lisa replied. "During storms, waves can reach 30 feet high or more." The aliens exchanged nervous glances, but Lisa continued before they could worry too much. "Now I want to show you some of Earth's amazing creatures," she said, changing to the next slide. "This is a butterfly. They start as caterpillars, then transform completely into these beautiful flying insects." The Threk Scout leaned forward excitedly. "Metamorphosis. We have stories of such things, though we've never seen it ourselves." Lisa smiled and clicked to the next image. "This is a dolphin. They're marine mammals that are very intelligent and social. They play games and help each other." "Peaceful creatures," Kodrak Elder chimed approvingly. The presentation continued with elephants, pandas, and colorful tropical fish. The aliens seemed to enjoy learning about Earth's gentler species. Lisa was feeling confident about keeping things peaceful when she heard Ben clear his throat. "You know, Lisa," Ben said, "you should show them the picture of that tiger from the India expedition." Lisa hesitated. "I'm not sure." No, Vaxi-1 interjected. "What is a tiger? You've mentioned it before." Lisa sighed and clicked to the next image. A massive orange and black striped cat filled the hologram, its powerful muscles visible even while resting. "This is a Bengal tiger," she explained. "They're one of Earth's largest predators." The word predator caused immediate tension in the room. "Predator," Threk Scout repeated slowly. "This creature hunts others?" "Yes," Lisa admitted. "Tigers hunt deer, water buffalo, sometimes even bears. They're apex predators, meaning nothing hunts them." The aliens were dead silent. Lisa quickly clicked to the next slide. "But they're very rare now. We protect them in special reserves where—" "Wait," Ben interrupted, looking at the image. "Is that a lion next to the tiger picture?" Lisa's cheeks reddened. She had meant to skip that slide entirely. "Oh, yes. That's a male lion. They're also predators." "Also?" Kodrak Elder's crystals dimmed. "How many creatures on your world hunt others?" Lisa opened her mouth to lie, to minimize the truth, but her scientific training won out. "Most mammals have predators. Fish, birds, reptiles, insects. It's how ecosystems work. Everything is either hunting or being hunted." Amy shot Lisa a warning look, but it was too late. The damage was done. "Show us more," Vaxi-1 demanded, though its tentacles were trembling. Lisa reluctantly clicked through more slides. Wolves, sharks, eagles, and snakes appeared on the hologram. "Each of these can kill other creatures?" Threk Scout asked, its wings now completely wrapped around its body. "It's how they survive," Lisa explained. "They don't have gardens like you do. They must hunt to live." "And if they don't hunt?" Kodrak Elder asked. "They die," Ben answered bluntly. The room temperature seemed to drop several degrees. "Continue," Vaxi-1 said, though its color had shifted to deep purple. Lisa clicked to the next slide and immediately regretted it. A massive saltwater crocodile filled the hologram, its powerful jaws open, displaying rows of sharp teeth. "Oh," she said weakly. "This is a crocodile." "Another hunter?" Threk Scout's voice was barely a whisper. "Yes, but—" Lisa started. "Actually," Ben interrupted, leaning forward, "crocodiles are probably the most patient hunters on Earth. Spent time training in the Everglades in Florida. Saw plenty of them up close." "Patient?" Kodrak Elder asked. Oh yeah, Ben continued enthusiastically, not noticing the aliens' growing distress. Crocodiles can wait months for the perfect moment to strike. They learn the routines of animals that come to drink. They memorize patterns. I've heard stories of crocodiles that waited over a year, watching the same zebra cross the same river, waiting for the exact moment when the zebra would be vulnerable. A year? Vaxi One's tentacles were now completely still, sometimes longer, Ben said. There's documented cases of crocodiles that remembered specific prey animals for years. They don't just hunt randomly. They study, they plan, they wait. The hologram shifted to a video of a crocodile lying perfectly still in muddy water, invisible until it exploded into motion. They hide their entire bodies, Ben explained. Only their eyes show. They can hold their breath for hours. When I was training in the swamps, our instructors told us about one crocodile that waited 2 full years for a warthog that had escaped once. Same spot, same time of day, every day for 2 years. The aliens weren't just quiet now. They seemed frozen. 2 years? Threk Scout finally squeaked. Yep. The warthog finally let down its guard and came back to that watering hole. Boom. Crocodile had been waiting the whole time. Why would it wait so long? Kodrak Elder asked, its crystals, now barely glowing. Revenge, maybe, Ben shrugged. Or just pure instinct. They're persistent hunters, patient predators. Lisa tried to change the subject. Of course, crocodiles are rare in most parts of Earth now. But the aliens weren't listening. They were staring at the hologram of the crocodile, at the image of a creature that could wait years to kill a single enemy. These crocodiles, Vaxi One said slowly. Are there more creatures on Earth with such patience? The humans looked at each other. Lisa opened her mouth, then closed it. Amy gestured frantically to stop talking. But Jake, seeing the need for honesty, stepped forward. Many creatures on Earth show incredible patience in hunting, he admitted. Spiders build webs and wait. Polar bears can wait hours above seal breathing holes. Mountain lions track prey for days. The aliens' reactions were immediate and dramatic. Vaxi One turned a deep black color. Kodrak Elder's crystals went completely dark. Threk Scout's antenna drooped until they touched the ground. Your world, Kodrak Elder said slowly, is populated by creatures that plan, wait, and deliberately seek to end other lives. Well, yes, Ben said. But that's just nature, circle of life and all that, circle of life, Threk Scout repeated, as if the phrase itself was a curse. The meeting ended abruptly after that. The aliens left without their usual goodbye, moving quickly toward their respective ships. As the humans walked back to the Pioneer, Amy turned to Ben. Did you have to mention the 2-year thing? What? Ben asked defensively. It's true. Crocodiles are amazing hunters. I thought they'd find it interesting. They found it terrifying, Lisa corrected. Look at our scanners. Their ships are broadcasting emergency signals to their home worlds. Jake stopped walking. What kind of emergency signals? Amy checked her. Tablet and paled. The automated translation says, Priority alert. Humans inhabit world of patient killers. Request immediate counsel. The 4 humans stood in the corridor, realizing that their simple presentation about Earth's wildlife had just triggered a crisis in alien society. And they hadn't even gotten to the part about human warfare yet. The next morning, Jake Miller woke to the sound of emergency alarms throughout the Pioneer. He rushed to the bridge in his pajamas to find his crew already there, looking at screens filled with alien text. What's happening? He asked. We're getting non-stop transmissions, Amy Johnson reported, her face pale. The Zephyrian Collective has declared what they're calling a patient-predator crisis. It's spreading through their entire network. A what now? Jake rubbed his eyes, still not fully awake. Ben Torres pointed to the main screen. Look at this. We've been monitoring their communications all night. Word about the crocodiles has reached all 3 species' homeworlds. On the screen, Alien text scrolled past faster than Amy could translate. Every major colony is requesting information about human predator capabilities, she explained. They want to know if humans are the same as crocodiles. That's ridiculous, Lisa Wright said, entering the bridge with coffee. We're not predators. We're omnivores with advanced technology. Tell them that, Ben replied, pulling up another screen. Look at these search queries we've intercepted. They're accessing Earth's internet archives, specifically looking for human military history. The screen showed a list of searched terms: human warfare tactics, siege warfare, ambush strategies, human endurance hunting. Oh no, Jake groaned, understanding where this was going. Amy's tablet beeped with an incoming message. The aliens are requesting a meeting. They say it's urgent for survival. 2 hours later, the humans entered the meeting room to find not just their usual 3 aliens, but dozens more. Vaxi 1 floated in front of a group of other Vaxi, all showing dark stress colors. Kodrak Elder stood among a council of gleaming crystal beings, their usual musical humming replaced by discordant tones. Threx Scout was surrounded by a swarm of other insectoid creatures, their wings buzzing nervously. Greetings, Vaxi 1 began formally. We have convened the combined council of the Zephyrian Collective. Our purpose, to determine if humanity represents an existential threat to our civilization. What? Jake asked, genuinely confused. Why would you think that? We have been studying your internet, a new Kodrak announced, stepping forward. Its crystals were arranged in a complex pattern. We found references to something called endurance hunting. Humans who run prey to exhaustion over days or weeks. We discovered military doctrines, added a Threx none of them had met before, describing siege warfare where humans surrounded cities and waited for months or years until inhabitants surrendered or died. Lisa stepped forward. Those are historical examples. Modern humans don't. You have sports called marathon, another Vaxi interrupted, its tentacles pointing accusingly at the humans, where individuals run for hours without stopping. This demonstrates human persistence hunting abilities. No, that's exercise, Ben protested. Recreation. Fun. Fun? Threx Scout's voice cracked. You consider demonstrating predatory capabilities fun? Amy tried her diplomatic approach. Please let us explain. These behaviors are taken out of context. We found video documentation, Kodrak Elder announced grimly. A hologram appeared showing human athletes, ultra-marathon runners, long-distance, swimmers, people completing extreme challenges. This human ran for 60 hours without significant rest, a new Threx announced, pointing at the screen. This matches predator stalking behavior described in your own databases. This human swam continuously for 53 hours, added a Vaxi. Persistence hunting through water medium. Jake realized they were spiraling into panic. Please listen to us. These people are athletes, not hunters. They train for years to achieve these feats. It's about personal challenge, not years of training, several aliens repeated in unison. Like the crocodile waiting 2 years. The room erupted in overlapping alien voices, their various forms of communication creating chaos. Jake caught fragments. Strategic patience. Human military academies teach waiting. Their sniper training involves weeks of stillness and they practice controlled breathing and heart rate. Stop, Jake shouted, surprising everyone. The room fell silent. You're misunderstanding everything about human nature. Are we? Kodrak Elder asked, its crystals dim. Your own history shows humans conquering entire continents through patience and strategic planning. Your military doctrine emphasizes exactly what you described in Crocodiles. Learning patterns, waiting for optimal moments, remembering past encounters. Ben stepped forward. Yes, humans can be persistent. Yes, we can plan. But we use these abilities for good too. We've waited decades to send missions to other planets. We've spent years developing vaccines to save lives. We've waited centuries to make contact with alien species, Threx Scout finished, demonstrating long-term strategic planning on a species level. The humans looked at each other in growing despair. "Your concern isn't entirely wrong," Lisa admitted reluctantly. "Humans do have persistent traits, but they come from our evolution. As persistence hunters millions of years ago, we've evolved beyond mere survival." "Evolved to what?" Vaxi-1 asked. "Your current civilization maintains military forces that practice the same patience-based tactics. We found training manuals for something called special operations that emphasize infiltration, surveillance, and long-term elimination of targets." Amy's tablet showed more search results from the aliens. They had found detailed military history: the Trojan Horse, the Siege of Constantinople, modern special forces training. "We understand now," the collective of aliens announced together. "Humans are apex predators who have retained all your hunting traits while developing advanced technology. You are not just predators. You are patient, planning, remembering predators with weapons that can destroy worlds." "That's not fair," Jake protested. "Every alien civilization must have evolved from something. What about your ancestors?" "The Vaxi evolved from filter feeders, the Kodrak from mineral absorbers, the Threx from pollinating insects," came the response. "None of us carry genetic heritage of hunting behavior." The meeting devolved into a heated discussion. The aliens presented more evidence: human sports psychology showing how athletes visualize opponents' weaknesses, business strategies based on patience and long-term planning, even human dating practices described in terms of pursuing partners. Finally, after hours of back and forth, Kodrak Elder raised a crystal appendage for silence. "We have a decision to make," it announced. "The Zephyrian Collective must vote. Are humans too dangerous to continue diplomatic relations? Should we warn other peaceful civilizations to avoid Earth's sector of space?" Jake felt his heart sink. Everything humanity had hoped for: alliance with alien species, shared knowledge, peaceful coexistence, was falling apart because of a simple comment about crocodiles. "Please," he said quietly, "give us a chance to prove we're not what you fear. Let us show you the good side of human persistence." The Alien Council exchanged communications in their various forms: color changes, crystal harmonics, and rapid chittering. "We will reconvene tomorrow," Vaxi-1 finally announced. "The vote will determine humanity's place in the galactic community." As the humans left the meeting room, they walked in silence. The weight of representing their entire species pressed down on them. "Well," Ben finally said, "I guess we should have stuck to talking about art and music." "It's not your fault," Amy replied. "They would have discovered this information eventually. Better they learn from us than from military databases taken out of context." Jake stopped walking. "That's it. Tomorrow we don't just defend humanity. We show them what human patience and persistence really mean when directed toward creation, not destruction." "How?" Lisa asked. "By telling them the truth," Jake replied. "All of it, the good and the scary, and hope they see the difference." The humans arrived early for what could be their final meeting with the Zephyrian Collective. The room was packed with aliens from all three species, plus several new ones Jake had never seen before: elongated creatures that looked like living, ribbons, and small spherical beings that floated in the air. "Before you vote," Jake announced before anyone else could speak, "I want to tell you a story." The aliens shifted nervously, but Vaxi-1 gestured for him to continue. 500 years ago, Jake began, human hunters discovered a species of bird in North America. They were beautiful, countless in number. Using our persistence and patience, humans hunted them to near extinction. Murmurs of concern rippled through the alien assembly. "But then," Jake continued, "that same human persistence saved them. For over a century, humans have worked to bring these birds back. We've protected every habitat, counted every nest, and today passenger pigeons fly again in protected sanctuaries. You used your predatory traits for preservation?" a Kodrak asked, sounding confused. "Yes," Lisa stepped forward. "The same patience we use in hunting, we use in healing. Medical research requires years of careful waiting and observation. I spent 10 years studying one disease, watching patient after patient, learning when to intervene and when to wait. That's how we find cures. Our military training that frightened you? Ben added. The same discipline protects refugee camps and disaster zones. Navy SEAL units spend months planning humanitarian missions. The patience you fear saves lives every day. Amy activated her tablet. Look at this. The same humans who can wait days in sniper positions also wait months to see rare celestial events through telescopes. The same endurance that lets us run ultra-marathons helps us explore new worlds. Images flashed on the hologram. Doctors working. In outbreak zones, rescue workers after earthquakes, scientists collecting data in dangerous conditions. Our patience isn't just for hunting, Jake continued. It's for understanding. We've spent decades trying to decode whale songs, generations preserving ancient forests, centuries seeking contact with other intelligent life. But the crocodile, example, Threx Scout hesitated. Yes, humans can be like crocodiles when we hunt, Ben acknowledged. But we're also like the parent bird that guards its nest for weeks without moving. Like the scientist who watches a single plant grow for 40 years to understand its life cycle. Like the teacher who spends a whole career nurturing young minds. We choose what to be patient for, Lisa explained. Just as crocodiles don't hunt every creature they see, humans don't hunt other humans anymore. Well, mostly. We've evolved beyond pure survival. Kodrak Elder's crystals brightened slightly. You suggest that predatory traits can be redirected? Not just redirected, Amy said. Transformed. The same focus that made humans successful hunters now sends space missions to distant stars. The same endurance lets us research problems for decades until we solve them. Show them the video, Lisa, Jake said. Lisa pulled up a clip of the International Space Station. This station required 40 years of planning and cooperation between former enemy nations. Thousands of people waiting their entire careers for their one chance to contribute. That's human patience at its finest. But Vaxi-1's tentacles waved uncertainly. What prevents humans from using these traits against us? Jake smiled. The same thing that prevents crocodiles from attacking each other. We've learned which battles are worth fighting. Earth's greatest threats now come from nature itself. Climate change, disease, asteroids. We need allies, not enemies. And, Ben added, our patience works both ways. If you declared us enemies, yes, humans could be formidable opponents. But if you accept us as partners, that same persistence becomes our greatest gift to you. The room fell silent as aliens processed this information. Finally, one of the ribbon-like creatures spoke up. In our studies of human culture, we found something called conservation biology. Humans have deliberately saved thousands of species from extinction. Yes, Lisa nodded. Sometimes waiting decades for recovery programs to work. We also found records of humans forming alliances with former enemies, a spherical alien added. Nations that fought wars now cooperate peacefully. Humans learn from mistakes, Amy explained. We've learned that cooperation achieves more than conflict. The Vaxi collective conferred among themselves in rapid color changes. The Kodrak crystals resonated in complex harmonies. The Threx buzzed in intricate patterns. We have discussed this extensively, Kodrak Elder finally announced. Your species does possess terrifying predatory capabilities, but you have something else, the wisdom to choose how to use them. Furthermore, Threx Scout added, your own fears work in our favor. You fear becoming monsters. This fear keeps your predatory nature in check. Vaxi-1 floated forward. The Zephyrian Collective has decided. We vote for alliance. Relief washed over the human team, but Vaxi-1 continued. However, we need assurance. Will humanity help protect species like us? Will you channel your patience toward preservation rather than domination? Jake stepped forward decisively. What do you need? Our worlds have no predators, Kodrak Elder explained. We're vulnerable to any creature from more competitive ecosystems. Will humans serve as guardians? Ben looked surprised. You want us to be your protectors? Your military training, your tactical thinking, Your patience in observation. These are exactly what we lack, Threk Scout explained. You could help us defend peaceful worlds while we offer our knowledge of harmony and sustainable development. Lisa laughed softly. You're not afraid of our predatory nature anymore? We're still afraid, Vaxi One admitted, its colors shifting. But now we understand it. You're not just patient hunters. You're teachers, healers, protectors. You choose which face to show. And we need that choice, Jake said solemnly. The universe is bigger than any of us thought. There might be threats we can't even imagine yet. Agreed, the Alien Council said in unison. Let humans and the Zephyrian Collective stand together. Let our differences become strengths. Amy pulled out formal alliance documents that had been prepared just in case. Shall we make this official? As representatives from each species signed or marked the agreement, Jake thought about how a simple comment about crocodiles had nearly destroyed everything, yet ultimately brought them closer. Together, months later, the first human-alien joint training facility opened on Nexus 7. Human military advisors taught defensive tactics to Vaxi security forces. Kodrak engineers helped humans develop more efficient space drives. Threx botanists shared advanced agricultural techniques. And in the facility's education center, Ben Torres stood before a class of young Vaxi students, teaching them about Earth's wildlife. Today's lesson is about tigers, he announced, pulling up a familiar hologram. But remember, every predator also protects its young, maintains its territory, and contributes to its ecosystem's balance. One young Vaxi raised a tentacle. Commander, Torres, will you tell us about those creatures that wait 2 years again? Ben smiled. Of course. But after that, I'll tell you about the humans who waited 70 years to reintroduce wolves to Yellowstone National Park. Because that's what patience really means. Not just the ability to wait, but the wisdom to know what's worth waiting for. The class listened eagerly, no longer afraid of Earth's predators or the humans who had evolved from them. They had learned that the most dangerous trait could become the most valuable gift, depending on how it was used. Outside the classroom windows, human and alien ships patrolled together, standing guard over peaceful worlds that had never known war. The partnership that had begun with fear had transformed into something neither species could have imagined, a friendship based on understanding, trust, and the shared patience to see it through.